This is Eric Swindle, and this is my reflection for Module 10. What experiences have you had with interactive technologies as a student or teacher? As a student, all the classrooms that I was in when I was in high school had smart boards. So I got pretty familiar with using smart boards, whether it was like a teacher using them or even a student to present PowerPoints and lessons and stuff like that. If that was a project that we had. The clickers we used in a lot in science actually for taking like pop quizzes, like interactive games and stuff like that. And then projectors. The projectors were hooked up to the smart boards. Sometimes they would hook them up to a computer and play like documentaries and stuff like that, and like history or any like kind of like English, and stuff like that. Which rendition of the interactive whiteboard and remote would I choose? I would choose a smart board just for the fact that I've used it a lot more. It's the only one that I know. And it's just, to me, it's really basic. It's really user friendly. I know the basics of it because I've used it in the past. What remote would I choose? It'd be the iClicker. Just because from what I've read, I've never heard of it other than this, but what I've read, it just seems really personalizable. You can make study guides. You can take attendance. You can ask questions, like you can take polls. You can do quizzes, some games and stuff like that. It just seems really easy to set up to a computer and kind of program and then get going really really fast. You don't have to go through a whole process of trying to get it set up and stuff like that. What interactive app did I like the most? Kahoot was one that stood out to me because I've heard of it before. I've never personally used it that much. Where I work, I've set up study guides type quizzes on Kahoot for some of the boys that are in high school that I work with, that to help them learn lessons and stuff like that. If I could choose just one for my future classroom, I'd probably choose the clickers, just because if you could go through maybe at the end or just maybe the beginning of a lesson that you're doing and take just a generalized like a test or a generalized quiz over the lesson, over the material. And then if you can see that if you have 20 students and like 15 of them miss the same question, you know that you need to emphasize on that question, or you can create study guides for them to study that are more emphasized to the ones that, or like the material in the lesson that they don't necessarily know much about, or you don't have to focus on the stuff that they know a lot about. You can kind of hit like the low points for them. My thoughts after reading that article, I found it kind of weird that they said a lot about how they can't really prove that, there wasn't a lot of proof that clickers make testing better, get better grades, get better scores, and stuff like that. I would want to disagree with that, because I think if you use clickers, it's a lot more interactive. You don't have kids just sitting there, um, you know, circling answers or filling in a bubble. You have them, going through with clickers and interacting, or they can use, they can even do groups and discuss what they think the answer is. I think it gets children a lot more involved with learning in general, whether it's a test, whether it's a quiz, whether it's just a question like a poll question and stuff like that. It definitely gets them more interactive, which makes kids want to learn if stuff's a lot funner, instead of just sitting there and asking them a question and having them fill in a bubble in complete silence. I think using clickers is definitely an advantage to the old way, just because it's a lot more fun. Kids would want to actually learn the material if they get to have fun and play games with it.